What do you have to lead the mailbag off?
Outside of Fedoni, Borders, and Prohaska, have you heard of any other high performers this winter?
Yeah, Buccini, obviously. Rule was very – I mean, he said Buccini's the toughest special teams player or one of the toughest special teams players ever had.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Buccini, ladies and gentlemen. We've heard Evan Cooper say that he coaches Quentin Newsom like he's an NFL player already. And he said of Malcolm Hartzog, he's the type of guy you win with. He's Hartzog. I mean, that's not all he said about Hartzog. He was effusive, Evan Cooper, in his praise of Malcolm Hartzog. Those are guys you hear about.
I know it's early, but Xavier Betts, the praise out of him is
off
strong.
The record praise?
Off the record, yeah. I mean, nobody asked about him publicly, but
right.
I know he's up to 206, and I know he's added 18 pounds since coming back. And we saw an early picture of him before he kind of came back, and he did look skinny. Remember how and he's kind of got back. And, you know, like Bill Moose made that joke. He goes, you know, when you're a high-level athlete, you can't put bad fuel in a sports car. And I think now Betts is back on track. I'll be really curious what his spring looks like.
Yeah. How about Omar Brown, just firefighter carrying Teddy Prohaska during those drills? You see that video Rule put out?
See that.
That's a deal where like they carry each other, and so Teddy's
he's got a bad back.
Teddy's Omar carrying Brown, and then they flip, and big old Teddy Prohaska gets on Omar Brown's back, and he just carries him, just mans up.
When Omar Brown,
330-pound dude,
I believe his injuries last year
were back injuries.
Okay,
I'm startled. I'm startled by this conversation.
Clearly, his back is doing well. At least it was.
Yeah.
Until Tuesday.
What do you got next, Abby?
Before ever seeing a practice or a game under the new staff, what do you think the fans will notice different right away?
Say that again, please.
Before seeing a practice or a game under the new staff, what do you think that the fans are going to notice that is different right away?
Hey, more tight ends and fullbacks.
Huddles.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Sean.
Mm-hmm.
Huddles. They're going to huddle.
No more of this. Like that's the quarterback clapping and then looking up at the box, looking back. Yeah. They want the quarterback to be able to communicate with a cadence and do the other things under center.
Yeah, you're going to communicate. And I'm going to call a play in the huddle.
And with the game of football eliminating like the clock stoppages on the incomplete passes and first downs, not incomplete passes, but there's going to be less plays in the game. So, you know, I do think this style that they want to do, it will be better. I mean, you
got to be more efficient now. Mm-hmm. I mean, we've talked about this before, but Frost at one point said, you know, in the American Athletic Conference, when you're running 80, sometimes even close to 90 plays in a game, you could have some throwaway plays and, you know, just get them next time. In the Big Ten, when you're down to 55 plays sometimes, you can't have throwaway plays. You got to be much more efficient. And maybe being in a huddle, having eye-to-eye communication, slowing it down a little bit, maybe that leads to more efficiency. That's what you hope.
What do you got next, Abby?
What is your take on Nebraska's winter conditioning team competitions?
It's fun. I mean, I think you got to create ways to engage players to want to compete and have fun during a time that's really not fun. It's cold out. It's dark out. You're sore. You're sweaty.
Yeah, you're up early.
The girls aren't watching you. The fans aren't watching. I mean, it's just you. And I think that's what's kind of cool about this. They've created a way to build a culture internally where these guys are competing and having fun doing it when it's really not fun.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. Like listening to Matt Rule talk about Thomas Fedoni having to get on a group chat and getting 10 guys organized, 11 guys organized to go to a beach volleyball match. Mm-hmm. And that's not easy to do. It's not easy for Sean to get us organized to do this. It's not. And so you got to get 11 people organized to go at a set time to do something. That takes leadership.
Well,
Fedoni embraced that.
Yeah, the fact that they picked the leaders too. Like these weren't like volunteers. Yeah, I mean, so they said, Thomas, you're going to be a captain, and like put him in that situation where maybe he doesn't step into that leadership role without getting that sort of responsibility put on him. One more note on that Omar Brown thing. I just saw that. So he carried Teddy Prohaska for 106.6 yards.
That is incredible.
I know.
That's
on a bad back.
It's a strong man now.
That's absolutely true.
He could be a surprise guy, Omar Brown.
195
He
pounds.
was an
carrying
All-American.
320.
He was an All-American at Northern Iowa, and it was the injury situation that kind of kept him limited last year.
Safety. I mean, he's a safety. He's at a pretty strong position, right? I mean, you got Miles Farmer back. You got Buford back. Isaac Gifford can play back there. You brought in the kid from Corey Collier from Florida. Who am I missing, Sean?
Two things, though.
Who am I missing?
I mean, Singleton,
Yeah.
Singleton,
Gifford.
Yeah, I mentioned Gifford, but yeah, they got guys there. That's the thing. Omar Brown.
Jalil Martin, Kobe Bretts.
Yeah.
Buford, though, coming off knee injury, and Farmer, yes, has played, but in terms of this miles per hour metric, he's not fast. He's limited. He is limited with speed.
I'll tell you where he's not limited in the
Here's
box.
video.
He's not limited in the box.
So, well,
Sip, look at your screen. That's
oh yeah, I
it.
got it.
Watch it.
Okay, I want to see
Look at him
this.
just pick
this is
up
Pro
Tay.
Husker.
Okay, that's amazing. That is amazing.
It's like you carrying Husker Online on your back. So
That's right.
Absolutely. Every day.
every day.
Every day, Sip going to work.
Look at that. Look at that, man.
Look at that
That's amazing.
Oh, it's multiple.
There you go.
reps.
There you go. There you go.
beast.
That is,
Yeah, 106.6 yards
it's really impressive.
total that he carried a 320-pound dude on his back.
Yeah, that's impressive.
All right, what do you got next,
Love it.
Abby?
We've had a few questions about this. So, for winter conditioning, what do the black jerseys mean, and what are all the colors mean?
Elite is the black color. So if you're in that black jersey, you're in the elite group, and there are only so many guys that are in the black, and then there's different levels of colors, and they haven't really specified what the gray.
I think red is
Yeah.
you're not doing
Red's
well.
not good.
Yeah, red's not good.
Who's in red? That's the next.
Yeah,
question.
you don't want to see yourself in red.
I'm guessing the red jerseys don't make the videos very
I don't
often.
think so. We also don't know who Mr. Irrelevant is when they did the point scoring. Somebody who was in last place was a former starter. Matt Rule called him out without calling him out.
Yeah,
So
Former or could we
he
don't
said
know.
he was a starter.
he was a
last year.
starter last year. Hello.
And I don't want to speculate.
No,
geez.
so we don't know. We're not going
No.
to speculate, but that's I think another value is they're rewarding guys that are stepping up, but they're also
calling out
guys out that aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing. I think there's just as much value in that.
I agree.
Next
100%.
question.
Does Nebraska ball take a big step back next season since they lose Greasel, Walker, Bandamel, and potentially Keisei Tominaga?
It's a lot to replace. There's no doubt about it. They're going to have to do some work on the portal. We're going to have to get some immediate impact guys, point guard, scoring wing, maybe scoring guard if Keisei leaves, and obviously more post depth, maybe some more offensive options in the low post with losing Derek Walker, but they're also bringing back a pretty good core. I mean, Jamarcus Lawrence, I think, is going to be a dude you can build
He
around.
can't play point guard.
He can play point guard like Emmanuel Bandamel played point guard, where like he can do it. It's not his primary position, but he can do it.
Okay.
And then obviously you get, we'll see who all comes back, but I think you got some core pieces with him. You got some, guys like Wilhelm, maybe CJ, Dunn Dawson, Sam Hoiberg, who we talked about, Blaise Keita. So, I mean, you've got a foundation that with the experience they gained, like we talked about over the end of this year, you supplement that with some impact transfers. I don't see a significant step back, especially with the culture that they built from the end of last season to now.
I think Jamarcus Lawrence could be a guy that comes back and averages 15 a game.
Yeah, he could be their top guy.
That combination he has of extreme speed, which he has extreme speed, wouldn't you say, with the ball,
He's pretty fast.
and beautiful touch. I mean, he's got a beautiful shot.
Yeah, I mean that's what he was known as in high school, as a shooter.
Oh, he's a beautiful
but
shooter.
I mean,
Beautiful.
he's finishing at the rim, and
Yeah.
he's
So you don't think he's as fast? I think he's fast with
I mean,
the ball.
extreme. I'm thinking like Tyson Walker at Michigan State. Like
I'm not saying he's De'Aaron Fox, but he's
Yeah.
fast. He's
He's
fast.
fast.
Yeah,
he's fast.
All right.
great athlete.
Plays downhill. as
Oh,
they
he
say.
does play downhill.
Final question, Abby Barmore.
If you need a coffee, what drive-through are you going to, and what's your order?
Right here, Abby.
Show the
Hold it
camera.
up to the camera.
I'll tell you, like,
McDonald's.
I mean, Rob and I are on the same page on this. We like to make espressos at home, but
You make more money than I do.
I have a coffee maker at my house. But
Sean
I
makes
will
more money
say,
than
like, the
everybody.
Starbucks and Robin, you introduced me to this. The Starbucks mobile ordering is life changing
Oh, is it now?
because
You don't have to interact with anybody.
you don't have to
just show
interact-
up and get your coffee.
and
It's beautiful.
well, and you don't wait in line. And like the South Lincoln Pine Lake Starbucks, I know at one time was like the busiest one
Okay.
in the state.
And
I mean,
what are you getting at here?
and the line would be
Yeah.
just ridiculous if
Yeah.
you wanted to call. Now you just put it in your phone, drive there in 5 or 10 minutes, and your drink's just sitting there. You leave and go.
Wow.
Yep.
And the mistake I've made is I got my wife. She drinks a drink there, and she never did for like 15 years of being with my
Not
wife.
coffee though.
It's a refresher, like a strawberry fruit drink.
Yeah.
And she does the mobile order on there, and it's like, oh,
Every day.
just about
Every day. How much is that a day?
$5.
Adds
That's
up.
not so bad. You can handle that.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, here's the thing about McDonald's. This is 152.
Apparently on the
152.
chat, someone says that you're doing it wrong. Speaking of mobile apps, the McDonald's mobile app will get you $1
Oh,
coffee.
really?
So you're spending an extra like 70 cents.
But they ask you for your number and everything, and it seems like a kind of a.
like every app.
I see people doing it all the time. It takes a lot of time.
Abby will get you set up.
Okay.
I mean, you get good coffee, like the mill down here.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll hand make your shots for you with a real press.
When I have time, I'll go into a place like the Mill or something like that. But on the drive-through, usually Starbucks.
Abby, what
for
about
asking.
you? What's your coffee?
I actually don't really like Starbucks, but I love Dunkin'. Dunkin's my go-to for sure.
Is that right? You're not a
Mhm.
Starbucks fan.
Yeah, I just don't like the way that their
I'm
coffee
with you.
tastes.
Yeah, I'm not. I
I
don't
think
like
it tastes kind of burnt.
God, that's a good take, Abby. It does taste a little
What?
burnt.
It's a take. I don't
Hot
agree
take.
with it. It's a take.
It does taste a little burnt.
When you go to Dunkin' Donuts, though, if you don't tell them, like, won't they just make your coffee like with the sugars and the cream in it automatically? Isn't there like a standard like Dunkin' way they
I
call
don't
it?
know that, Abby.
'Cause if-
I don't know that either. I don't just get like plain coffee from them. So
It freaked me out. I ordered like a black coffee or something, and it was like loaded up with stuff. I'm like, whoa! Like, I mean, there's like they like pride themselves in putting all this stuff in when they give it to you.
No thanks.
I'll tell you one interesting coffee thing I had real quick. Krispy Kreme. I went through Krispy Kreme and asked for an Americano. They said we don't do Americanos
What?
at Krispy Kreme. They don't do Americanos, but she said I can try to make one. I said, yeah, do it. Oh my God, it was bad. I don't know what she put
It's
in
just
there.
espresso and water.
Yeah,
Like,
well, she
how
messed
do you
it up.
screw that up?
Yeah, it was
You
incredible.
run into that at McDonald's too. Some McDonald's will make an Americano, and some
Yeah,
they
some look at you like you're
not in America.
right. Yeah. Absolutely.
Americano is a standard European coffee.
Okay.
I mean, it's espresso and hot water.
Yeah.